safe space and a brave place. Yes, this is Counsel Culture, and once again, we are being joined by relationship psychologist, the one and only Sadia Khan, for session 3. It's her 3M method. Now, let's master relationships. A safe space and a brave place. Once again, we are here to be counseled and not canceled. Sometimes it can be uncomfortable conversations, maybe conversations you don't always agree with, but the goal is to cultivate, to help, and to counsel. And we are being counseled once again today in our 3rd session in the 3M method that she's created. The psychotherapist to the world. She's internationally known, Sadia Khan. Thank you.
Thank you for having me again. I'm so grateful to be here and speak to you.
Backed by popular demand, just because we've had some great conversations. Our first session was specifically about self.
Yes.
And we got to know each other. And I feel like, I own all that I am and take accountability where I need to take accountability. And it was helpful to hear, certain perspectives of just be yourself, be honest, embrace it. Then mastering women was a fun one. But I think as we get to this final one, I feel like this is probably what the majority of people desire.
Yeah.
Is mastering relationships.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've done a lot of amazing things in my life, and had some remarkable experiences, and I am so grateful for the life that I live. But if I could say the space that I failed, and it's been documented, because I have failed in relationships. Specifically, as I was saying, having an unsuccessful marriage, and I only say unsuccessful because it ended in divorce. But the time that I was married, I feel like it was extremely successful.
Yeah.
Still have a phenomenal relationship to this day, and I believe we are extremely successful co-parents and friends. And, but if I'm thinking about a monogamous relationship, I just don't feel like I was designed to be in that. I don't understand that. I don't know why a person would want to be in that. It's just and even like we talked about peace before, I don't see peace in a one-on-one relationship. That's just me. But I think the average person, everybody else, all the normal people do.
Okay. So the chaos of like being with lots of different women, juggling that doesn't feel stressful to you?
Not at all.
Okay, that feels like second nature.
I'm a machete juggler. Like I was put on this earth to juggle.
Yeah.
And I've accepted that. And it's also because I have done the monogamous thing before and pretty successfully. You know what I mean? Like again, I was younger. There was probably some manipulation and not really. I was putting on a show. Right. And I think that's what a lot of people do in relationships, is that they become this representative of what they believe the other person wants, opposed to being their self. And I got to a space where like I'm not gonna put on an act. Like, monogamy doesn't work for me. I believe I can be loyal to you. I believe I can be faithful to you. I believe I can love you. But if it's just you and I forever, that doesn't compute for me.
Got it.
But I also know that's, different strokes for different folks. I am in the minority when it comes to that, because most of people in society want one partner and one person. And I understand the discipline of that, and I actually understand the safety of that. Yeah. You have to be extremely disciplined, and it actually makes a bond super secure when you have a union where you're like, this is my person and nobody else's, and I'm coming home to this person at night. I don't have to worry about diseases. I don't have to worry about all the craziness of the dating life. Like, I want this one person. I want this peace. I want this person to be the father or mother of my children, and we want to do the next 50 to 60 years together. I get it. So I'm removing myself from this conversation. But when you're helping people specifically in mastering relationships, what is your advice?
Always the selection is everything. Yeah, when it comes to a man, there are men. You know how we used to think it's just men that cheat. There is equal, if not more, women that cheat nowadays. And more so than anything, the consequences of a woman cheating is she can take all your money, she take your kids, brainwash those kids at very least. There's so many negative consequences to choosing the wrong women for men. Choosing the wrong man for a woman is obviously terrible as well, but she knows the kids are hers. She knows she gets to keep the kids. And more so than anything, the kids follow her lead a lot. Yeah, mentally, they tend to follow their mum, whatever their mum tells them, and they're quite loyal to mothers. So selecting the woman, and there's only 3 steps that women take to fall in love. If she's not got these 3 stages in this order, she'll never truly love you. She might use you if she's using you for finances, or she might be with you because she wants a family and stuff, but she'll probably cheat if she doesn't have these 3 things in this order, and it has to go in this order. And where men are getting it wrong is they don't realize that these 3 things are really important for a woman to fall in love.
Okay.
The first,
give us the 3.
and it has to go in this order.
Alignment.
First and foremost, she has to be attracted to you. Physically attracted to you. This has nothing to do with how nice you are to her, how kind you are to her, how much you listen to her. No. Does she look at you and think, physically, I want to be with him? Even if you walked into a room and she didn't know you, would she still choose you? If you don't have a woman's physical attractiveness, already you're setting yourself up for either a sexless marriage or a relationship where she's using you for finances or something. Wow. Because women who are not attracted to you become transactional. They need to make up for it some way or shape or form.
That was a bar.
The moment
women who are not attracted to you become transactional.
Yeah, as the attraction increases, the transaction decreases. She'll be available for free. But as the attraction decreases, the transaction increases. She's going to need you to pay for things, buy things, fly her places to make up for the fact that she doesn't want you touching her. So the attraction has to, and this is why a lot of men are suffering, because they think, they might be like a really old man, they've got this beautiful young girl, and like, no, I'm such a high value man. No, it's not about you being attracted to her. That's actually not even that important. How attracted is she to you to firstly get her loyalty? Without that, there's never sexual loyalty, never. She might not start cheating, but she will at some stage. So the first stage is she has to be attracted to you, and you can measure that by how much intimacy she initiates, how much she wants you, how much naturally and also how loyal she becomes. When a woman's not attracted to you, she's always a bit disloyal. She keeps her options open. The moment she's attracted to you, even if she thinks you're horrible and cheating on her, she can't help but be loyal to you. So the first stage has to be that.
Right now.
Yeah. Without that, you can't start. Yeah. And this is where these sugar daddies, they suffer. They still want to bypass this really important ingredient.
That's transactional.
That's transactional. So that's the first step. Now, and this is what women need to remember as well. They forget this order as well. They have to be attracted. The next stage is just to admire the man. This is for a relationship to actually work. She has to admire him. And what admiration means for a woman is that he can provide, and most importantly, he can protect as well as provide. It's not just a case, he gives her money, but he's not protective. And what we mean by protective is he's not dumb. He's not somebody she can manipulate. He's not somebody she can use and he doesn't fall for it. He knows when she might be talking to other guys, like he's like, you can do that, but you're not on my watch. I'm out. She admires that man more than, I know you need closure. It's okay, you can go see him for an hour. No, she doesn't want that guy. Yeah? She'll use that guy, but she won't admire that guy. So he has to be somebody that's protective, who can spot threats from other men, other behaviors. But more so than anything, he's a man that in general, he's a problem solver. There's a problem, he can fix it. There's a decision that means I can do it. There is no like following her lead. There is no like chaos. The other thing they really do and makes a man admirable is his self-control. His self-control, like I said before, with money, with women, with food, in general, he's got self-control. If you're a man that's, spending money frivolously, you're not making that much, you're overweight, you're watching pornography all day, you're signaling no self-control, she can't truly admire you. Or you've got lots of addictions. Let's say you're an alcoholic, you're this, that. She won't truly admire you. Now, if she's attracted to you, she'll stick with you, even though she doesn't admire you. But she won't respect you, and the relationship will turn a bit toxic. Yeah. So she needs the admiration. And finally, the final stage, in order for it to turn into a healthy relationship, so if she's attracted and she admires you, but you're toxic to her, whatever, it will just turn toxic. The final stage, then she needs your adoration and love. Yeah, so it's 3 A's: attraction, admiration, and then adoration. Yeah. Then she needs you because naturally when she's attracted to you and admires you, she's going to get a bit anxious, jealous, insecure, all of these things. Your adoration means a lot then, that you are kind to her, considerate, you're caring towards her, you're loving, you have boundaries with her, but you adore her, you give her some adoration.
And that's the only one, it sounds like, that we actually have control over, or is a man's action, because I can't control if she's attracted to me or not. No. That's about what you talked about in a previous session, is like you just got to choose correctly. You got to choose someone who's attracted. Yeah. My philosophy is like, I like who like me. So whoever is attracted, I can't control that. she admires me. That's within her power. Again, I hope she admires my process.
And even how you are as a father, she'd probably admire that.
But then the adoration that's my job.
That's your job. Now you decide if you want to adore her back and stuff. Now where men get it wrong is they adore her because they're attracted to her, hoping it will fix the relationship. So they start showing adoration because they're super, super attracted to her. She might say yes because she's using you or because she needs you or whatever it is. And they're hoping that it will come. But it has to go in. She holds the key to the relationship going in that direction. You pick a woman who's not attracted to you. Pick a woman who doesn't admire you and you just adore her endlessly, you're a simp. Automatically, right? Automatically.
Yeah.
But you pick a woman who's attracted to you, then you are a man she's naturally admiring. And because you see good qualities in her, you're still selective as a man. You see that she's a good woman. Like, she might be attracted to you and admire you, but she's not a good woman. She's not a good woman in general. You don't have to adore her back now. You're selective with who you adore. Yeah. When you're a man of value, you're naturally attractive and admirable, then it's up to you who you adore. Now, if you're still adoring bad women, you're going to have bad relationships. But if you are adoring good quality, high quality women that would be good mothers, who, if you had a daughter with her and she turned out exactly like the mother, you'd be happy. Then you've got it right. You've got the right order of everything.
So that seems, on the surface, I completely understand that, but it seems so simplistic.
Yeah.
But people are having such difficulty with mastering relationships.
And because they're lustful. Men have lost all their masculinity because they're lusting after women rather than selecting them. And this is the saturation of pornography has made them think, I know I'm this like broke guy living in my mom's basement, but I want this beautiful Thai woman living in the middle of Thailand, because they're watching pornography all day, every day. And that's dictating what they admire in women.
So you really think that like porn is really that big of an issue for relationships in society?
Because it replaces, it dehumanizes the woman. So instead of looking for a woman who will be a good woman, who will treat them well and treat their kids well, they're looking for a woman who will satisfy them sexually, who will get their urges up, who will be able to satisfy them sexually. Because men fall in love differently. They have to be in lust first. They can't actually love a woman that they don't lust after. They can appreciate her, but they can't love a woman that they need lust first. And what lust is, she might be beautiful, but if you have no lust towards her, she can't access that true side of you where you actually want to do things for her and be around her. So they need lust first and foremost. So they need to lust after a woman. Then they show her some labor and investment in her, and then they can become loyal later on. But because what's making them lust is really highly promiscuous women on pornography and social media sites, they now can't lust after women that are actually healthy.
Wow. Because it sounds very one-sided, because it's like it's men being lustful and having this porn addiction, or just subconsciously just faced with it all day long. Do women have that same issue, and does it work in the same way? That because there's women who watch porn, and there's men that are being thrown in their face. It's
what happens with women that watch a lot of porn, and what happens with promiscuous women in general, they learn that you can get the best behavior out of men while treating them badly, as long as you know how to please them sexually. And the moment they tap into that superpower that they have, they can never respect men the same way. And that's why they abuse them. So the moment a woman realizes, I can cheat on him, I can swear on him, I can steal all his money, he can pay all my bills, and all because he loves the way I have sex with him, they naturally don't respect. There's no man that they can admire.
See, that's the thing. Again, and then we were supposed to talk about this last session. I think it is a perfect time to talk about it now, because right now, what I'm hearing you say, when it comes to even a successful relationship and mastery, sex is so important, and even like desiring. But I've been in many situations, and even where I utilize the practice of abstinence. I utilize, sex isn't an option. One, for my scenario, I can get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't want you for your body. I don't want you for your vagina. I want to get to know you. I want to understand you. And then I want to know, other than you bringing me vagina, what else are we here to talk about? And then that creates such a different playing field.
But then everybody has a language that they speak in love. And when a woman masters what yours is, she can then control you. So if it's sex, she'll use that. But if it's you just love adoration and you just like being worshipped, she'll use that. She has to figure it out. Now, smart women will figure out, especially women who've been with lots of men, they can figure out quick. Some women will know it's just tell them that you love the sex. Tell them that it's the best you've ever had. He'll marry you. Yeah, like you tell that to a guy who's never had much experience, he'll marry you. Other men, it's just like be their biggest fan. You just got to figure out what every guy's kryptonite is. And when women have had a lot of exposure to men, they know that trick really well. So then some prostitutes, for example, they work with men that have been married and they're like, oh, my wife never tells me I'm handsome. She's like, you're so cute. You're so gorgeous. And he's now handing over properties to her.
Right.
So as a woman, if you are hyper promiscuous, what will happen is you learn that every man has a weakness. You just have to tap into what his is and you can access whatever you want from him.
Okay, so let's try to remove all of the tricks and the kryptonite and for again, I'm just trying to get to the core of when I'm thinking about the average 40 plus old person that's in a relationship. Sex is probably not at the forefront of their connection. It may be like some part of it is involved, but if they're really just looking for a companion.
You're speaking from a privileged place.
You might be right.
So shut the fuck up.
You might be right.
You're speaking from a privileged place.
I'm for someone who gets as much sex as I want.
And you've probably seen so much in
because the only reason why I want to, because I'm trying to play devil's advocate for a moment because
take an average man. An average man has not had that much experience. An average man spends endless hours scrolling on the internet, seeing women that have never even known he exists. You see half of the baddies that you've gone online on. You'll meet them at parties. They'll talk to you. So for you, of course, you can prioritize sex.
Right.
But we're talking about the average.
Because again, even and if I'm being honest, I do that's most likely a manipulative tactic sometimes.
Because deprioritize.
I'm like, oh, I don't want your sex. I don't want. Like, then they're like, what do you mean you don't want my sex? And then they don't have another superpower to throw at me. You know, it then gives me even more power,
even more leverage.
But now, because again, I want to play devil's advocate. I want to remove all of the tricks. I want to remove all of the kryptonite, all of the little things we can use. If we're getting to that core of just, it's about love. It's about companionship. In that way of just saying, I just want to find my person. And, you know, because if we're in our 60s, it ain't about how well I'm knocking it down no more.
You know what? Again, your privilege is obvious, yeah? Because you've had this. I've met men who, in their 55 years old, they've even had like erectile dysfunction for a long time. They'll even get a pump to get it up to go visit a prostitute. So what I'm saying to the average man.
So you're saying regardless, it's always going to be about sex and desire.
It's not that it is. It's just that unfortunately, that's what our preferences have been hijacked by due to the saturation of sexuality.
I'll go here then.
Yeah.
Because and I've had this conversation with many.
But I do. Sorry to interrupt you, but that mentality of deprioritizing sex is the only and quickest way to get the best relationships possible.
Because that's
that's the quickest way to get it, but men just don't realize it.
Because what I was the other world that I would offer up, that it isn't about privilege and it isn't about even the process, is when you go to religion.
Yeah.
And specifically, you know, even in Christianity, they prioritize removing lust.
Yeah.
And it's all about, even when you're meeting your person and finding your mate, you can't talk about sex, you can't think about sex, you got to do it in the order of God, and sex can't happen until marriage. So in that, there's a community, there's groups of people that are going to say, I'm desiring a partner. The goal is still to have a husband or a wife, but sex can't even come into the conversation, because the way to do it right, to say if I'm really going to find the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with, it can't be a lustful process. It has to be, I'm getting to know this person and to see if this is my person, regardless of my pornographic thoughts, regardless of my lustful energy, regardless of, you know, what I'm inundated with throughout the day. I have to say, this is my wife, because she's a virtuous woman.
Yeah, well, here the same in Islam, we do the same thing. It's like the lust is taken out because it's not accessible before marriage. But even though, again, it's in Islam, but I also recommend it to my clients, is that if you want to find a really good compatible woman, your person, then look for a couple of traits. The first one, choose someone you're attracted to, but she's also attracted to you. Attraction is important. We can't ignore that.
So attraction and lust are two different things.
Yeah.
We have to make that clear.
Yeah, attraction.
You can still be attracted to someone, but not thinking I want to sleep with
Here's the key difference between attraction and lust. Attraction is reciprocal. Lust is you desire one way. You desire her. You don't even care if she desires you back. Your desire for her is so excessive, whether she wants you back or not is secondary. So it's like the guys that follow the girls on Instagram, go on OnlyFans, they're lustful. Attraction is she's messaging you back. You're calling each other.
But it starts with lust.
It starts with
it doesn't turn into attraction until she hits you back.
Yeah, then it's attraction. But if it remains one-sided, it remains lustful.
It's lust.
It's lustful. So the attraction is the first thing. Second thing that God recommends, but I also recommend this to guys, is look at her family background. Always look at a woman's background. Her relationship with her father will tell you her relationship with you and relationship with your kids. And this is something men really overlook. And I think they're a bit stuck in America because everybody is raised by single parent homes. It's quite difficult to find a woman that's got a good relationship with her father. But men and women who have good relationships with their father, it does something to their self-esteem and it does something to their marriage unit. When you grow up without access to your father or a disdain towards your father, which is even more dangerous, you raise your kids on how to disrespect men. You raise yourself how to live without them. And it trickles into your own kids. So when you grow up without respect for fathers, you generally have a lack of respect for men and male authority. There has to be some male authority in your homes. Has to be. Somebody has to say, no, it's too late, get the kids back in the house. There has to be some fear of fathers, because fathers will be there to protect you from your own mistakes. Mums give you unconditional love, but fathers, there needs to be consequences to your actions. Fathers should be the ones that execute that. Problem is, we see that as toxic. We see that as abusive. I was always terrified of my father growing up. I'm still terrified. Like now, I can't wear anything. You can ask the production. I was like, if my chest or anything shows, can you let me know? Because my dad will murder me. Honor killing is not out of reach. So like, I always appreciated that because it keeps you aligned. So the second thing is always look at her relationship with her fathers. Some women can't help that they weren't grown up with their fathers, but did they have a distaste and hatred towards him? That's a slightly different emotion. It's very difficult to hate your father without your mother's influence. So there would have been some toxicity passed on to her about men in general. It doesn't just stop at fathers. It extends to men in general. Wow. So if she really hates her father and you really hate your father, chances are you bond over that. You say, okay, me too, we both got these, but you'll create children that dislike their fathers. So really avoid people who have a disrespectful, their household backgrounds, parents in general. The third thing I always recommend to men, and again, this is some religious connotation, is choose a woman that has the ability to generate money, even if you don't need her money. Always look for women.
Say it louder, please.
Look for women who have the ability to generate money, even if you don't need her money. And the reason why this is super important is because women without the ability to generate money, they don't know who they even attracted to. They don't fall in love in the regular way. They fall in love in survival mode. They're like, okay, what can you do for me? They fall in love with what you can offer them. So they firstly choose who can save them from their own issues, because not having financial security is very difficult. Secondly, when you don't provide that for them, they've always got a replacement on standby. They usually have something like, because they need a backup plan. They treat men like they treat jobs. If one is failing, they go for another interview. If another interview, they treat the same thing. So the ability to have some financial stability in a woman, not only does it keep her a bit busy, so she's not like constantly stressing about the relationship or picking problems, she's a bit busy, but it also gives a genuine relationship because you know that she's with you for you. But women that don't have money, what they'll do is they'll stay with you, not because they particularly love you, but because they don't have a financial option, and they'll cheat on you. They'll use you, they'll disrespect you. They're not there out of love. And some people really want a genuine connection. So it's hard to find that when the woman is in financial survival mode. So choose somebody at that, even if she's not working, never works, but she has the ability to generate her own income. She's a bit more like, she's selecting you for you, usually.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, because look, if I didn't have my own money, I would walk into a room and be like, I don't even care who I'm attracted to, who's wearing a nice watch, who can help me, and who can pay for my rent, because I don't know how this is coming. And especially if I didn't have a father as well to support me that. I don't care who I'm attracted to. I don't need someone pretty. I need someone who can do the work. So I go into it with the wrong intentions. But with the ability to generate your own income is, now I can choose somebody that can maintain my lifestyle that I can also do without him. So if he acts a fool, I'll leave, no problem. I've got that strength to make that decision whether I'm there rather than just using him.
Can we go back to the first thing you said with attraction?
Yeah.
How, specifically from a woman's point of view and standpoint, how does she know what she's attracted to? Because like even what you said, like some women nowadays, because they just automatically think transactional, they're attracted to money. They're attracted and I also like I've talked to many women and they're like, I don't care what he looks like. Like that's not what makes me excited. They like security and comfort. So if someone can make them comfortable, that's what they believe they're attracted to. They're not looking at, they don't care if he's cute or if he has muscles.
Well,
it's
you'll see that really successful women do care that he's cute. You'll see things like Mariah chose you. She didn't need a penny from you. Like, yeah, she doesn't need a penny from you. So look, here's the thing, successful women, Madonna is now with a 30-year-old or like, you know, you see Cher with these, we all know what we're attracted to. We're attracted to, you know, beautiful men. But the problem is that comes secondary when you're in survival mode. So when she's not in survival mode, she can actually choose what she's attracted to. And what you're attracted to is what would you allow to touch you easily with or without what he offers you. Not who you necessarily want. Who would you allow to access your whole body with or without his money, income, anything. Because look, you've got to remember, even these girls that do go for sugar daddies, they get drunk in a club and sleep with a guy that night. There's always some guy that can take her home for free.
Right.
They do have a type. They do have a type. They just don't. They're not able to access it until they're financially secure. So that's why a lot of rich men will have these young girls, and they cheat with a guy that's around the same age. And usually we're attracted to people we grew up around. So if when you were young, the guys that were cool in school and that kind of type, that is usually our type pretty much forever. It creates a template of what we find attractive pretty much forever.
That makes sense. And how much is it physical, or is it like, because I always say like funny guys, guys with charisma, regardless of what they look like, they can become attractive because of their personality. Is that a thing?
It's a physical combined with her ability to be herself around him. Now, when you're always tricking guys, you have to pretend that you need money, and you have to keep being on tricky. That's why they'll always have a boyfriend that they grew up with who knows all the tricks, and she could just be herself, and she could take them on. So it's a combination of like physical attractiveness, but who she could always be herself with, who she didn't have to pretend and trick and lie to. She could actually be herself with, and that's the person that she would actually choose if it was up to her and she wasn't in survival mode. So that's why after they finish with the sugar daddy, they might go back to a college boyfriend that knew all the situation beforehand.
All right, I'm gonna flip it on you.
Yeah.
Because in all of our sessions, and even you've thrown this at me, saying that my perspective is very privileged.
Yeah,
I also believe you have the pretty privilege, and your perspective is coming from a perspective of someone who is, above average when it comes to your ability. Like you see it through a lens of someone who's very attractive. So what about the average or even below average person who's seeking all what we're talking about, specifically a healthy relationship? Yeah. They don't have the option of getting the guy that they want, or the cute guy, or the guy with money. They just got to get a guy. They have to have any man.
But then the problem is that even unattractive people are fussy these days. Even unattractive.
How dare they?
Yeah. But you'll see, this is where TikTok has really destroyed, women's preferences, because you'll get unattractive girls saying, "No, I'm somebody's dream girl. I don't need to settle." Or you'll see these unattractive men being like, "No, I need a high-value woman. I need someone with a low body count." And it's like, bitch, you can't get anyone. Take what you're given. So the problem is that the problem with people who are unattractive is that they're usually very bad at knowing their marketplace value. They tend to guess above. So what ends up happening is when they see their accurate pool of who they can select from, they see that as settling. If similarity feels like settling, that means that you have an inflated perception of yourself. And what I mean by that is, if I put you with somebody who's similar age, similar attractiveness, similar income, and you're like, "Oh, I don't want that," that means that you have an inflated version of who you are. Really, true people with high self-esteem, they want someone similar level of attractiveness, similar kind of demographics, similar income. They want similar to them because they like them, so they want someone similar. Yeah. People who don't like themselves see matching with somebody similar to them as a downgrade, because they haven't truly realized their own value. So I'll meet a guy that maybe he's like a lot older, he might be like 55 years old, and he's like, no, I only want to date 28-year-olds because I want to have kids, so I want to date 28-year-olds. I go, what 28-year-old wants to have a kid with you? Like, why would she choose you? Right. And he's like, because I don't don't want it. And I said, but then you have to go transactional. Buy her. No, I want it to be real. I was like, bitch, you need to either be with somebody in her late 40s and accept similarity and accept that the chance of being with that young, beautiful girl is gone. Or you can access that young, beautiful girl, but make it transactional.
So is that acceptance is what that it comes to?
It's liking who you are is what it boils down to. Good looking, bad looking, whatever it is, liking who you are, liking who likes you, and avoiding comparisons to people who are out of your league. Simple.
I think that's a great place to put a pin in it, because you just, boom, that was the thesis.
Yeah.
And I mean, man,
I don't personally.
I'm trying to see it from every perspective, but that's exactly what it is.
This is what unattractive people are doing. They're comparing what they're getting. Like, oh, I don't like the matches I get online, or I don't like that. I'm like, but that's all you can get. Stop comparing them with people who don't like you.
Like yourself,
yeah,
and then like who likes you.
Like who likes you, and then stop comparing who likes you with the people that are out of your league.
Wow. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That one went fast.
Time flies when you're causing trouble on the internet, right?
Absolutely. Well, we have to do this again. I
God
know
willing.
You don't make it off to the
I'm going to make Nick Muslim, by the way.
Yeah. She's going to convert me. I already got the turban. I'm ready.
I'm going to bring you to Dubai next time, inshallah. We're going to try and do one there as well.
Let's do that.
Let's do it in Dubai.
I absolutely
inshallah.
will do that. So this has been amazing. Thank you for all three of these sessions, the 3M. One more time, if people want to, take the coaching.
Please feel free to just jump on my website, and you can be coached by me, where you get a whole program. And I really, I'm not one to kind of push sales because I'm bad at it. Yeah. But this is something I'm genuinely really proud of. There's no way you'll come out of this program without a complete understanding of what women truly want, not what they tell you they want. And you've got me along there trying to dissect it based on your own standards, because I understand everyone's different. But there is consistencies in what women reward and what they punish, and this will teach you exactly that. And you get to do group calls with myself and meet a community. So I'd love to have you guys there.
Amazing. Well, these 3 sessions have been extremely helpful for me, and hopefully I know the audience feels the same way. So continue on, and it's been an honor, privilege, and a pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much.
Counsel Culture. We out.